Hi everybody, I'm back, and I thought it would be good to make a second video and finish up this lesson, um, just because it's more than you would have maybe been able to figure out on your own. I just want to make sure everything's covered well for you. So I'm going to backtrack just a little bit here. We were talking about adjacent angles. We talked about vertical angles in the last video, and we started talking about adjacent angles as well. And I'll review both of these for you in this video. And I'll keep this video short too. Don't worry, I'm not going to hold you very long here. Adjacent angles. Adjacent simply means they're right next to each other. In fact, they share a side. Remember, angles are made up of rays, right? You have two rays that share a common endpoint, which is known as the vertex of the angle. If I can get this to right here, there's the vertex of both angle 1 and angle 2 here. But they share one side. This ray right here is common to both angle 1 and angle 2. It's the bottom side of angle 1. It's the top side of angle 2, but it's shared in common. They're right next to each other. They do not overlap. They share that common vertex. Okay? Adjacent angles. Those are adjacent angles. Now, there isn't anything special about these two angles, angles 1 and 2, but if you have a pair of lines that are intersecting, like we have in this second figure here, then they are special. Adjacent angles formed by intersecting lines are supplementary. That means they total 180 degrees. Like angle A here and angle B here, those are adjacent angles. They're right next to each other. They share this side right here in common, and they total 180 degrees. You can see it right here. That's 180 degrees if you take this angle A and angle B and combine them. Now, what you'll notice is angle A is also adjacent to angle D. So they should also be supplementary. And if you see angle A and angle D and you combine them, maybe I should have used a different color here. But this totals 180 degrees also, doesn't it? If you are looking at this lower side of this line right here. So adjacent angles are angles that are right next to each other. They share a side in common, and they total 180 degrees. They're supplementary angles. All right, so what does this all mean? How is this helpful for us? Well, here I have a pair of intersecting lines. I have angles 1, 2, 3, and over here is angle 4, but I've labeled angle 4 as being 39 degrees. Can you find the measurements of any of the other angles? Well, I'm looking at this, and actually right away I can tell what angle 3 will have for a measurement. Angle 3 has to be 39 degrees. And how do I know it has to be 39 degrees? Well, it happens to be vertical to this angle over here, which is 39 degrees. Remember, vertical doesn't mean up, down. Vertical means they share a common vertex, and they're mirror images of each other. Okay, so angle 3 starts at this point and woo, it's expanding out like this, woo, to the right. And this other angle that says 39 degrees, woo, it's expanding out in the other direction, like mirror images, but they share that common starting point or vertex. And so they have to be congruent. By the way, angles 1 and 2 have to both be the same measurement as each other as well, because angles 1 and 2 are vertical angles. So if I find angle 1, I'll know angle 2. If I find angle 2, I'll know angle 1. So these are the same because they're vertical angles. That's how I know this is 39 degrees. Now, if you want to find 1 or 2 for that matter, you'll see angle 3 and angle 1 are adjacent angles. They're right next to each other, which means they must total 180 degrees. Okay? So if I know angle 3 is 39 degrees, I can find angle 1 if I just take 180 degrees and subtract 39 degrees. Okay, make this 8 a 7. This becomes 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 7 minus 3 is 4. And we have this 1 out in front here. So 141 degrees, angle 1 is 141 degrees. That means angle 2 is also 141 degrees. I know that's true because angles 1 and 2 are vertical angles. I also know it's true because I can take 180 minus 39 to find angle 2 because 2 and 3 are adjacent angles. So they also have to be supplementary angles. You can see that. I'm going to switch colors this time. Angles 2 and 3 combined are half of a circle. If you imagine this line right here as being the one that's splitting that circle in half. Okay, so adjacent angles are supplementary, vertical angles are congruent, and when you see these four angles formed by these intersecting lines, they are one of two possible measurements. They're either 39 degrees in this case or 141 degrees in this case. Okay, so that's it. That's everything I wanted to finish discussing here in this lesson. I hope that all makes sense. Have a good day, everybody.